Holyoke, Massachusetts, and hello, we're in front of the St. Jerome's Church. This parish, the people, started honoring and celebrating masses in 1856, approximate this location. And the first pastor, Jeremiah O'Callahan, was the celebrant. And this is the Mother Catholic Church of Holyoke. And from here, it's spawned other churches. So the next one that came about was the Sacred Heart Church, and that was 16 years after this one was built. And this one was thus for not only for Holyoke, but anyone north in Massachusetts, because there was no other Catholic church north of this for a very long time. All right, so I'm going to talk about the others, and we're going to look at other videos of objects around here. But the first one out there, Sacred Heart, 1876. James Sheen, the first pastor and the founder of that one. And that has existed for a very long time also. That was truly an Irish church. This was all of them. And after that, it started to bloom more and more. But the next one after that was the Precious Blood Church, which started as a parish on High Street. And then in 1869, they moved down to the South Holyoke on Cabot Street. And by 1870, they had their wooden church in place. In 1875, the brick mortar church was ready to go almost, but sadly, in May of 1875, the wooden one burned with 70 people having died from that. And other Catholic churches around the area, remember there are many. I believe there's up to 8 of them. And the next one that come about was the Perpetual Help Church, which came about in the year 1890. It was located by the river. There was a French-Canadian church also. It stayed there for a long time, but by 1922 it had moved up to near the library, and that became its home for a very long time. It burned in the fire, so it's not there anymore. All right, so that's 4 churches. Next few to come along, the Holy Rosary Church, which was an Irish church. It came about in the flats, and it came about in the year 1886. It was the third of the Irish churches, and that one is not there anymore since it was taken down in 1975. It was a gorgeous church. It was probably the largest Catholic church of all. And as people moved around to different places, you had to build. The next one to come along was the Immaculate Conception Church, and that one was also in the Flats neighborhood, and it was a French-Canadian church, so it was the third of the French-Canadian churches. And at that point, there was also 3 of the Irish churches. And so that one came about in about the year 1901 with a mission church, and then it grew from there. Mission Church is now gone, and also the one that was put up in this place in the 1920s is now gone too. But the Catholics are spreading and spreading. All right, the next one to come along was the Holy Cross Church in 1902. They had their first Mass in St. Patrick's Chapel, which was still alongside the St. Jerome's Church here. And they celebrated their Mass also in a small building that's still there. And in 1927, the Holy Cross Church, the massive one, was built in its place, and they're both still very active. All right, the next one after that was the Blessed Sacrament Church. You can also get the Blessed Sacrament Church, which came about, I believe, in the year 1906, and it started at the Metcalf School, and then for 1 year it was there, then for a few years, actually quite a few years, it was on the top floor of the Blessed Sacrament Grammar School. And then by the late 1950s, it grew into an octagonal church at the corner of Westfield Road and Northampton Street. All right, and then there's one more to mention, the Holy Family Church, which was a mission-style church, a satellite church, and that was on the Brightside Orphanage property, and they were actually a true church or parish for 3 years only. But it counts And before 1970, the building started to wear out, so they had to condemn it and take it down. But it was a parish still like all the others. I think that's nice. So that's an incredible record. Some people call Holyoke the most Catholic of cities in the United States. Maybe it's true, because there's been so much high percentage of Catholics here through the many years. So I hope you get a good sense of what's out and about. Now, don't take my word for this being the end of the description. Go to each one of these churches, read my write-in, listen to my podcast, and watch my videos on each one of these churches and their big campuses, because I have many stops on all of them. That many of them had schools, many had convents, and they all had rectories associated with them. Thank you very much.